Hello viewers, welcome to this demo of Xatocode, the world's best, ultimate and only Excel VBA automation and standardization tool. Today I am going to explain the remaining functions under the Excel manipulation component in code repository. In the previous videos, I have explained you almost all the functions of range manipulation except the range to HTML, insert text from source to target range, locate first date in range, and locate value in range. Now let me explain what locate value in range does. It is similar to locate column header in sheet, except that instead of the worksheet parameter you have to pass a range, it will try to locate the given value in that range and return you the range or the cell containing that value. Locate first date in range is again similar. It will accept a range as parameter and return a cell or a range with the first occurrence of a date. Let me download this and explain it to you. Now before this, if you remember from the previous demo, I have automated this worksheet. Earlier there were formulas here like in these cells, but now there is no formula and the value is calculated through macro. So I will just insert a row and make some aesthetic changes. So as a best practice, what you can do is you can rename these shapes. Now I'm going to insert another module and name it as mod events. I have added a piece of code here and I will explain what it does. So let me execute this step by step. So RNG data will hold the range I2 through the function locate column header in sheet, and then I have taken an offset 1, so it will hold I3, and get current region starting given cell from I3 will hold everything till the end of this table. So this will hold the current region but starting from this given cell till the end of this table. But I want to select only the 2 columns. So what I will do is I will do a resize on this. So get current region starting given cell returns a range, and you can perform all the operations on this as you can perform on a range. So dot resize. So I'll just keep the row size, I'll let it be what it is, and I'll resize the column to 2. So before this, let me go to the immediate window and do a select of this range, and I'll show you what it selects. Now I have added another macro to this process button or shape. I have created an event or a procedure called SHP process click, and I have called this calculate all function. So this is calculate all, so it will calculate the total revenue and demo 1, but I have just commented this lookup continent. So this function I had already explained in the previous video. If I click this, it will fill up these 2 columns. Now the idea behind this was to show you one cool stuff. So if you insert a row or a column, the code will still work irrespective of the fact that the position of this column has changed. Now this is what I call dynamic programming. So this is the beauty of code repository. The functions within it are well tested and created with decades of experience. But what if you want to change the header? Let me change it to total revenue 1. Now since I have renamed it, the question is, will the code still work? Let us see. We get an error. So basically it did not found this header. So I will just put a third parameter which says BLN display not found error message. I will set it to true. So you will get a descriptive message this time instead of an error. You see, this is a error message. It's not an error. So it says header not found in comments or cells of worksheet, name of the worksheet of workbook, name of the workbook. And you still get an error. That is because this range returns nothing and you are trying to get an offset 1 of this. So what you can do is you can put a check here. Yeah, we get an error and then it will exit the procedure. So the question is how to make this work. So you might want to give the end user the flexibility to change the column names or the column headers. So in that case what you can do is, so let me insert a note here. Now if I execute this, it works. So in newer version of Excel, comment is called a note. So in previous version, you can see that this would be called a comment. And now you can absolutely change the header and it will not impact your coding. Now let me quickly show you what LocateValueInRange does. You can provide a range to it. Let me say starting from A1 till Z10, and the second parameter is what you want to search. I want to search in demo1, so you have this demo1 here, and let me return the address, and if I just hit enter, so it will return K3. So this is what LocateValueInRange does. Now you have another function. So for that I will just insert a worksheet. I'll put some formatted content here. I'll go here, I'll just format this in whichever way I like. I just put an underline. Let me remove the fill color. You have another function called InsertTextFromSourceToTargetRange, and the new inserted sheet is named as sheet1. So what I'll do is sheet1 dot, and what does this parameter take? So it is the range source, and which is B2. And where do you want to paste it? In D2. And I'll skip the third parameter, which is the position. I'll show you what it does. So if I just hit enter, I have to put a call to it. You can see that it has added this formatted text at the end of the content which was there in D2. So what if I want to insert it between these two sections? So this time let me specify the third parameter, which is the position, and I want to put it as 6 at the 6th position. Now let me see. There you go. So this is what insert text from source to target range does. So it will copy the content of the source range and insert it into the destination range, but it will preserve the format. Now let me copy a part of this data in this new sheet, because I'm going to demonstrate you another functionality, and I'll just add a border to it. We have this function called range to HTML, and I'll pass the range, which is the selection, and I'll return this value. So it will give me an HTML which represents the formatted range in HTML format. Now if I just paste it in an HTML file, I'll show you how it looks. Now this is how it looks in HTML format. You can see I have just copied the HTML code in here, and this is the output that we get. So you can figure out where this can be used. Probably if you want to show a piece of Excel output in HTML format in some web page or in some SharePoint page, this functionality will come handy. Now you have a date within this range. So is there any way that you can locate the first occurrence of any date within a given range? Well, let us see. So you have LocateFirstDateInRange, and I'll pass the selection here. Selection is nothing but the selected range, and BLN display not found message, I'll put it as true, and I'll just display the address. Okay, so this is yet another way to display the address. So you skip the first three parameters and set the third parameter to true. It will give you the complete address including the workbook and the worksheet name, and it gives you, in sheet 1 you have K4. So K4 is the occurrence of the first date. So you can change the format of this date, still it will work. Now let me show you once again, and if I press enter, you get the same result. But this time let me select some different range which does not have a date. And now if I press enter, it will give you a very nice message. No date value is found in following range. Now before I end this demo, I have a quick question for you. Which amongst all these functions do you think is the most important? Any guess? Well, if you were to ask me, I would say get current region starting given cell. I believe in almost every project you might have to use this function. It will save you lots of time in selecting the required range for processing. And if you know loops such as for each loop, or if you are aware with most of the properties of ranges such as resize, offset, index, then in combination with this function you can save yourselves a lot of time. So let me end this demo here. If you have any questions, you can leave under the comments. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.